Why are you King Tahoe?
Ooh, because I was born to be. Circumstances, the things that I've been through, and the things that I will go through, uh, they've shaped and molded me to be one of the coldest. So
Hmm
you feel me, King Tahoe?
There we go. There we go. One of the so like Tahoe is about like is it actually like based off of like Lake
You
Tahoe or
know, you know, there are many rumors and speculations to to where that came from,
okay?
but we gonna stick with I'm one of the coldest. That's
There we go.
any other story. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. Like
You know,
you can't stand by or substantiate the
man,
rumors.
can't
All right,
confirm neither nor deny.
I feel that. So you say it's something you were born to be, right? You were
Hmm.
born to be that. When, because you were walking me through off camera, like you're Gemini, right?
Yep, yep,
What
yep.
does that mean to you?
Um, I deal with so much just in my head alone, bro. Like you
Mhm.
feel me? Like I have no shame in saying that I talk to myself. Like you feel me?
Yeah.
There's definitely like I was just breaking down the concept of severance to you to where
Yeah.
there's two consciousness. That's what it kind of feels like at times. So where it's like, sometimes like I'll just be dealing with like heavy emotion and it feels like I become another person. So
Yeah.
I had to figure out how to express in ways that were healthier. So I started doing poetry like right around the time I was like 9 or 10.
Mm.
So from poetry, after the age of 9, when I turned 10, that was like a crazy year of like the new era of R&B to where
Mm.
Chris Brown, Neo, Trey
Mm.
Songz had just dropped their first albums like 2005. So I was like 11.
Got you.
So they dropped their albums and I saw what that did for the girls.
Yeah,
I saw how the
yeah.
girls reacted, and I was like, okay, so I'm already doing these words. Like if I just sung them, like that might just work out. So I kind of got into
Yeah.
the singing, and later on, I wasn't really taking it too much serious, but like later on, I started to rap, and it was like, oh, I'm doing both of these, and I'm kind of good. Like there are guys like where I'm at, like I was moving around, staying in different places, but everywhere I was going, I was one of the best guys at whatever it was. Like I was doing choir or whatever. So it was like, I could do this. I just have to believe in myself. And
Right.
dealing with different people telling me this and that, the hardest part was believing in myself.
Right. You know what? There's so much you put there that I'm like hella interested in.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about not like split personality, but split
Yeah.
consciousness. How young were you when you found out that you had like a split conscious?
I don't want to say I have like a split conscious. It just feels like at times you become another
I
person
see what you're saying.
when you're so caught up in the midst of emotion. Like when
Okay.
emotion takes over and it feels like that emotion is the person that's
Mm.
in charge at the moment. So
Yeah, not your consciousness, but the emotion. It's so
yeah,
powerful.
it's like,
Gotcha.
yo, like I don't even know why I acted that way. Like, if you're dealing with like extreme anger or panic or whatever it may be, like paranoia, whatever, like
Mm.
those things may get you into a different psyche, like, you become reactionary or whatever it may be. And it's like,
Mm.
man, that's not even who I really am, but I get lost in that emotion or whatever it may be.
Yeah, when you were younger, and I appreciate you explaining that. When you were younger, do you remember the first emotion that got you like that you struggled with or had the most power on you?
I used to be paranoid a lot when I was younger, but it
Mm.
was always anger is what really does it for me. Like,
Yeah.
when I get like manic, bro, like
Mm.
it's fucking crazy. Like sometimes, like, but that's just something that I've worked on. It's not as crazy as it used to be, just
Mm.
because I've had
Channeled it differently.
yeah, and I've been open to talking to people and just taking the time to grow. Like
Yeah.
not pouring myself or hoping that I could get some type of solution or release from somebody else. I have to be the solution. I have to want to change, and then I have to find the change and be the change.
Yeah.
So it's a process for sure, but I I like who I am, so I don't want to be anybody else, even if obviously that's who I really am in those moments as well, but I can be better. I know I want to be better, so I
Yeah.
will be better. You feel
Well,
me?
I appreciate the vulnerability. I appreciate you
Of
sharing
course.
that with me.
Open
I
book.
think, yeah, I mean, one, that's important, but I think it's also important for anybody out there who's like dealing with emotions to understand that it's like normal, right?
It's human.
Regardless, yeah,
Yeah.
human. So I do want to give to you said that when you found poetry,
hmm
that like helped you a lot with regulating those emotions. How did you find poetry?
Um, my mom got me a notebook, and I started. She like made me do a journal.
Mm,
So I was doing journals. I think it might have started off like with like a school thing or something like
right,
that.
right.
And then
Like
my
a
mom was,
school assignment.
yeah. And then my
Yeah.
mom was like, "Nah, you got to do that like every week or whatever it was."
Mm,
So I would have to do journal, and then from journal it went into poetry, and yeah, so once I started to hear those certain songs and then that era happened, like that
yeah.
new like fresh out of neo soul, like going into that new wave of R&B, it was like,
Mm.
yeah.
That's when you discovered your voice.
Woo. It took me a second to
Oh,
discover my voice.
yeah. Tell me
But
about that.
shit, so I moved around like when I was like 11, 12, and
Mm,
then like one of my friends that was on the basketball team, we started like a group, and he was
mm,
like the star of the group. Like it would be like a couple other cats that would always be in a group, but it was mainly me and him. Like he'd be at my house or I'd be at his house,
right.
and we would just be like singing covers and doing stuff like that. So we would just try stuff, and I ended up like we got a little bit older and we started hanging out with different people or whatever. So I would hang out with cats who would like skip school, and we would go to like the studio, and
Mm,
I would start doing hooks for them and stuff like that. And I still wouldn't say that I was like a singer. That's when I kind
yeah.
of got more in a rap.
Okay.
So I rapped throughout like most of high school. I would say I found my voice like at the end of high school where I did choir, and after high school I moved to LA for a little bit to do I was going to school to be a sound engineer, like,
Okay.
or you feel me, a mix and master engineer. Didn't last, did 4 months, came
Yeah.
back home. I was in LA, bro. I was in Hollywood. Me and my cousins had a 3 bedroom or a studio apartment for 3 guys.
Okay. So
Fuck.
like like literally the grind of the like the come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, our apartment was like the size of this room, type shit,
Damn.
and we're
Okay.
all like, it's like a futon, a air mattress, an air
Air
mattress.
mattress. Yeah.
Like,
I
yeah.
seen that in 2 years ago
Mm.
where it's like they turn a whole apartment into like you walk in, it's just beds everywhere.
I mean,
So
luckily
how
we
you
were
got make it
cousins.
happen?
We
Yeah.
we didn't. I left.
Oh,
Like, we did it for like, I
yeah.
was there for like 2 months. My other cousin came, and we did it for like another month or two. And I was
Mm,
like, yeah, I
you
don't.
can't do it.
It was a lot going on, but yeah, like we were just sleeping too close, and yeah, it was. That's what I'll say.
Oh,
So
got you.
yeah, but then I came
Yeah.
home. I did my first show, um, like my first ever actual show as an artist,
Mm,
like 18, 19 years old. Rap show. Me and my friends. I had no songs that needed like singing or anything. They were all pure rap. But
right.
I was there, felt the vibe. There was girls there. I started singing on one of the hooks, and there was somebody there who like just so happened to like work for a label, and he was like, "Bro, I mess with that rapping shit you do, but like that singing shit is where it's at for you. Like if you could do
Mm,
the singing and rapping, it'll really work for you." So singing was like the first thing that, even though rap got me my first opportunity, singing really got me through the door of like hope and
I
possibility.
see what you're
Like to,
saying. To
oh
turn
yeah,
it
you
into a
could make,
career.
yeah, like, oh, this could actually happen. Like, and he was like, bro, yeah, you could rap for sure, but like the singing shit is like, it was like, okay, like that makes hella sense. So singing was the first thing. I've never gotten paid for a rap verse, but I've gotten, singing hooks, like doing this and that, go sing an event, like do a wedding or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's not about the money. Like I love doing it because I do it, but singing opens doors for real for me.
No, I mean that's real, man. Especially in the modern day music landscape,
Mm.
people like a lot of melodic stuff. So even if people are rapping, it's like you have to rap almost melodically.
Everybody wants to sing. Have you ever
That's what
seen like the 21 Savage be on Instagram Live just singing nothing but like 90s R&B? Like
yeah,
you could be the most stud cat, but like when some Isley brothers come on, like
yeah. You try to sing,
you gonna sing drifting on a memory. Like, yeah, you gonna do your thing. Like if you
yeah,
can't or if you can, like that's what music is.
So that it was game over from that point when that label person approached you and said, "Hey, you're great at rapping, but singing is what's going to do it for you," or
I still did some more rapping, like, because I want to say, like, I dropped a rap album like 2 years after that type shit, but it was mainly singing for me. Like, that's when I kind of found my voice and was going harder on trying to produce singing projects. Like, I would write more singing things. So I wasn't even really writing a whole bunch of like R&B songs or whatever. I would like write a song and tell a girl I dedicated it to her or whatever it was. But like, I was rapping. I don't even know when I did my first R&B project. It was Heartbreak Hotel. That came out 2019 or something like that. Yeah. I want to say, no, it probably came out like 2018, 2017.
2018, 2017.
Yeah, because so I want to say my first rap project that I dropped was 2015. Yeah, so it's
Is
called.
Is this before or after moving out of that LA apartment?
This is all after. I never really dropped any music. I did, okay, so that was my first. I did some like some little projects in high school. I don't know if I really count them. It was like me just having fun. You're in high school, like
trying stuff.
Yeah, like, you know. But I mean, I did talent shows and I was doing all that, so I was in the mix in high school. But it just didn't. I wasn't sure of it. It was just having something to do. I was playing basketball in the beginning of high school. Got kicked off the hoop team for. We're not gonna go into that, but you feel me? I needed something else to do, and like I said, I was hanging out with these guys who like, oh yeah, if you don't want to go to school, like, I'm finna go to the studio. So we would just do that. Like, you know, I was kind of like at a point in time I was kind of like falling off school because it was like, you know, this is like right around the time where like house phones were starting to become outdated and everybody had a cell phone. So it was like, oh, the school is just going to call my house phone, but didn't nobody pay that bill. Like, nobody care about the house phone. So it's like,
no one's going to answer.
Yeah, we outside. Like, so that's where I got into it. But yeah, around that time, I was doing singing stuff around 2014, 2015, but it was mainly rapping until like 2017. And yeah, I met some cats. I did a project with one of the homies. We ended up falling off, so that project didn't really do anything. So I don't. It just, I guess, you know, I've done a lot of stuff, but I don't really count it. I feel like I'm fake bougie with that. But yeah, I met one of the homies via my Stockton homie. My Stockton homie Isaiah introduced me to this cat named O for Show, and I'm a huge Michael Jackson and Jackson 5 fan. Like, I love music. But they had this song that I always love called This Place Hotel, in quotations, Heartbreak Hotel. I always wanted to make a song called Heartbreak Hotel. So I met with this cat, O for Show. I think, so he's an engineer and a producer. So he cooked like Jordan. He like, we'll link up. He'll cook right in front of you and record you right after. Like, so he had that going. And we did like one rap joint because I still wasn't singing like that, just all top. So I was like, man, you know what? I kind of want to do this singing project now. So I linked up with him. First song we did was called Heartbreak Hotel. And it was like, still probably one of my biggest songs right now. Like, everywhere I go, I damn near got to perform it. Like, it always, So I dropped that, and then I dropped a project called Heartbreak Hotel. And that's where I kind of I call it me finding my voice. That's where it really started for me, and things started to pop off.
Yeah. So finding your voice, what I find interesting as an artist, like when I found my voice, you don't necessarily find your lyrical content or your pen at the same time. Sometimes it's different. Did you always maintain the same kind of lyrical content from like the start to Heartbreak Hotel, or like what would you say is, okay, this is the kind of stuff that I love singing about or talking about?
So it's interesting because I've been a lot of places, like, you know, throughout my life. So I think every project you'll see what era I was in. Like there was, when I was really outside in Oakland, it was the gangster type. You feel me? It's mobbish. You feel me? So, and then when I was maturing, it was more like conscious rap. Whatever it may be, introspective. So there was. When I started singing, a lot of this stuff was more about like love, or there's still introspective songs to where I'm thinking and I'm reflecting on what's the state of the world and what have you. So that's a huge thing for me. I like to talk about reality. A lot of the stuff, if not all of the stuff, because I don't want to fake the funk, but most of the stuff is my real life. Right. So I try to I can write from imagination, of course, because I'm a writer, but I prefer to write from what I've been through or what I've experienced.
Right, especially if it's your song, you want it to be authentic to what you've experienced.
But it doesn't hurt. Like, I'm a huge J. Cole fan. It doesn't hurt to tell other people's stories who don't have the voice or haven't found their voice just yet. Yeah,
well, I mean, that's still authenticity, right?
For sure.
Like there's an art to it.
It's a real story.
Yeah.
As long as it's a real story, that's where
100%. So what I want to know is, I see a lot of people when they come up, they kind of struggle with like especially in content era, they struggle with like, okay, they got a great product, the music is great, but the art behind it in terms of like, how do I put myself out there? What is my style artistically and stuff? I feel like when I see your content, that's not a problem that you have. Like I see that there's an aesthetic. I see that there's like things that you.
Thank you.
Of course. Like I see that there's, I don't want to say a theme, but there's a style about you that is consistent. So what I want to know is, was that hard for you to find, or is that something you had to discover later on?
Bro, I feel like I'm not trying to ever be one of those guys. It's like I'm a jack of all trades or whatever it is. But I would say I'm as much of an artist as I can be. I always tell people, like, growing up, luckily, we grew up in an era where CDs, you could go on a CD, you could open it, but you could open it and there's a booklet and you could see who did what, and there's always these thank yous to such and such for this and that. So I always wanted my name to be on as many things on the CD as possible. So I always wanted to be as multifaceted as possible. So like, I don't know if you remember, like, even when we were recording Mariah, like, I want to executive produce, like, I want to help out and do things, even if I'm not on it. So I've always had, like, I guess for lack of a better term, a vision. I have a vision, bro. So, like, I want to, I'm an artist at the end of the day. So, a lot of the stuff, like, I direct a lot of my own videos. Like, me and my videographer will put it together, but I'll write the treatments, what have you. Like, I have a vision, and I just want to execute. Yeah. And I pay attention to a lot of stuff. I study a lot of stuff. It's just, I really care about it. And I don't think it was something that I say at first I just didn't care for. Like, it wasn't like a thing of like I couldn't do it. It just was, I didn't put my mind to it. Yeah. Right, yeah. So once I put my mind to it, it was like, nah, we could really have fun with this and we could really take it there. So it's really just putting the effort forth. That's really the only thing, like the difference. Like, people just don't put the effort forth. If you could make up the song, like when I'm making up the song, I'm already having a music video in my head to the song. So it's like, oh, we could cut this up into 8 pieces of content. We could have such and such come model for that content because she fits this song's aesthetic or whatever it is. And it's paying attention to detail. Right.
So I want to do something for the first time on this show, because I was like, man, like, I want to start asking artists, like, I don't want to say a challenging question, but like a fun question that other people can ask. So you talking about your art right now, I want to ask you 2 things, okay? What is something that you love about the job of being an artist, and what's something you would change about the job of being an artist?
Probably the same thing. So I just recently dropped a project, Ice Cold 2, featuring my boy.
Hey, what's up?
And multiple other artists, but they not here. So shout out to them though.
Yeah.
So
stream that.
Yeah. So the thing that I hate is the thing that I love. Is like seeing the numbers. Like, I mean, like right now it's doing real cool. Like, I'm happy with what it's doing, but like, I'm too focused on it at times. Like,
Mm.
you know, just always trying to tap in with somebody. Like, I want to just let it live and do organic things. And I'm doing everything organic, but I do miss like the aspect of where it was CDs. Like, you could grind, you could send people links all day, but like getting to like be hand to hand with somebody and like hand them your CD and like let them know where you really came from, like with the project and what it means to you, and spend the time with them, like, you feel me? And when people buy stuff, it means a lot more to them. Like, I got thousands of songs, hundreds of albums on my phone, and there are ones that I really love, but even the ones that I like a lot, I forget about, or they just fall in between because it's so much music easily accessible. When you got a CD player, you putting that one CD in,
Yep.
that might stay in your car for however long till you feel like switching the CD out.
Yeah.
Like, and like people come up to me all the time. Like my first rap CD, which was like one of the last CD, like it was like the last year of like CDs or whatever. Now CDs are a thing you have to buy online, which if I'm going online, I might as well stream your shit, which I understand. But I appreciate people who do buy stuff.
Yeah.
So people still hit me all the time. Bro, I got that CD. It's like 10 years old now. I got to check that out and see if it's like an anniversary. But like, it's like 10 years old. People be like, I just found that CD, man. I love that CD. Like,
Yeah.
it's like they have a real connection to the CD. I love songs like for like the connection, like if we like I had a drive or something like that, but like they have a real physical connection as soon as they touch that, or they randomly see it, compared to like just scrolling and, oh yeah, that shit slap. Like, yeah. Like, nah, it's like, oh,
Well, it's a whole experience.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like I miss when we weren't focused as much on the numbers as much as just getting the music out there.
Right.
So that's one thing I hate about the job. But I do love being able to see the numbers and being able to go off that. Like being able to be like, okay, like right now one of my top places, which is random, is like Miami. So it's like, cool. In the aspect of this digital era, being able to run ads, okay, I have to target Miami. Because that's where they listening to me, and it's having that advantage is cool. But I do miss where it was just experience based and feeling based.
Yeah, I missed that too. Because what I liked was the whole experience of like, man, this CD came out today. After work, I'm gonna go to whatever store, cop the new King Tahoe Ice Cold 2. Right? It's like you have to go to the store.
R.P. Rasputin's, like places like shit like that. Like, that was a thing. Like, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but like, you would like teenagers would go to record stores after school and be there for like an hour or whatever, and figure it out. Like, find all like some dope shit, and you can still find and like search. Like, there's different avenues, but like physical media is disappearing, and it's taking away a lot of our connection to things.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Speaking of Ice Cold 2, let's talk about the project, man.
Yes, sir.
So, real quick, how many songs are on the project?
15.
15 songs. Okay. Talk us through when you first came up with like the idea, okay, I'm going to record an album and I want it to be Ice Cold 2.
So I did Ice Cold, the EP last year, which is cool. I feel like it kind of like went under the rug or whatever.
When did you drop it?
I dropped it May of last year.
Oh, you know what happened May of last year though? Not Like Us came out.
Like, it was a lot of stuff going on last year, but I had a cool couple songs that did well off it. Like my song Iris is generally like well received, and like people like that song. Like it's done some cool things for me. Like I like when at least if you get a single or two off that help push you a little bit further on your path.
That's right.
Then that's a win. Like I always hope to get like most of the shit. Well, it was a 6-song EP I want to say, but like it still gets traction. Like, you feel me? People still love songs. So I got a couple playlist ads and what have you. But I was working on, I can't remember what song it was. I was working on something, and it just kind of reminded me of one of the songs on Ice Cold. And I was like, man, we might as well keep this going. And it was still like I was getting closer to like wanting to release a project. I didn't know which direction I was going specifically yet, but it was like the top of the winter.
It was the top of the winter.
It was the top of the winter, and I was like, man, if we're gonna do it right now, then, or if we're gonna get it out like in the midst of the winter, we might as well just do Ice Cold too. Like I wanted to like do something like to where I could keep it going and just have some type of continuation. I never really do anything with like continuation sequels to anything. Like people have asked me to do, I have a project called Autumn. They've asked me to do a Heartbreak Hotel too, but I just wasn't in. Heartbreak Hotel was like outside of
time.
Yeah, it was like a specific era, like, but I was still in this Ice Cold era. Like it just was like none of the songs had moved me towards a different wave. It was like, no, I'm still on that same type of wave. But some of the songs were songs that were going to be on the Ice Cold EP, but I just didn't finish in time or whatever it may have been. It just wasn't right. So it was like, man, it's time for Ice Cold too. And I don't know, man, if it wasn't for that artist camp that Jordan threw.
Yeah.
In 30. Shout out to 30.
Shout out 30 Wonder, Jordan Kyle.
Yes, sir. If it wasn't for that artist camp, I probably wouldn't have had it out right now. Like I probably would have still probably just been finishing a couple more. But it was like, yo, after that, it was like, yo, I got like 3 or 4 tracks like that's ready to go. So I was already at like 5, 6, maybe 7 at most. I was like, oh, we could drop something. Then I recorded like, I want to say like 3 more tracks, like right at the mixing and mastering period. And I was like, oh, we just throwing these on there. So yeah, it ended up with 15. I produced 5. Jordan produced 4. My boy Jalen O did like 3. Shout out to Dregs 1. He got one on there.
Shout out Dregs 1.
Yeah, man. And there's somebody I miss. Oh, produced by Johan and AB Smooth. That's everybody. Shout out to everybody. Yeah.
There we go, man. So Ice Cold 2, one of the songs that stand out to me a lot, and I'm not talking necessarily sonically, because I think that you do a good job of like variety on the album, but I'm Zeke. Or is it,
I'm Zeke too.
I'm Zeke too. There you go. So I gotta ask, bro. I gotta ask, like I don't know. I'm not gonna fake the funk. I don't know. Like, as much as you can say, what is Zeke? I feel like it means freaky, but like you're in a different way.
It's like, it's like the full extent of freaky. I had like a written definition. Let me see if I can find where.
While he's looking for that, I gotta tell y'all. So the visuals for this is like, it's like a beautiful like balcony, almost like a not a suite but a penthouse almost, right?
Yeah.
And then he has a beautiful woman, right, like dancing on him, dancing in general, like on the balcony. It's like the craziest visual, and it's like so clean, like the whole thing. He's like dancing in it. I'm like, man, I don't know why this hasn't gone viral. Like I like the whole aspect of it, and plus it's almost like it's not drill, but it's that one.
It's the sexy drill wave, low key.
There you go, yeah. So
I can't find what I had written down, but it's just like it's being uninhibited. Like, you feel me? It's like so the first time I said Zeke, I was in the studio. We were just like shooting shit, and somebody was like in the level above us. They were like playing like horns, and it was like they were like making love to the horn. It was like they was really like fingers, and it was like, yo, they getting Zeke, like, and it was like, yeah. So from there, it just was like, when you're extremely like, how they got triple X?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
X, Y, Z. Like, we're at the end of the spectrum. You can't get any freakier than a Zeke person.
I see
like,
what you're saying.
You're the Zekiest. I'm the Zekiest guy alive,
So if there's tiers to freaky, Zeke is the top tier.
Zeke is his own thing. Like, it's just, that's why it's the Z instead of it's not an extra freaky. It's not, it's Zeke. Like, it's freeing yourself to be all the things that you want to be in that moment. Like, just going beyond and above for the experience.
You know why I appreciate that though? Because I feel like when we talk about impact in the culture.
Hmm.
Like we want to talk about like what do you bring to the table that a lot of people haven't done before, right? Or maybe not even necessarily haven't done, but that's unique to you. And I feel like that word Zeke is
It
like
almost took off. So
yeah.
it's been around for a minute.
Mm.
Like right before the pandemic, people were saying Ziki. It was in their Twitters and everything. I
Yeah.
kind of hated on it. That's what took it. Like that's what
That's the
stopped it.
beauty of it.
Yeah, so I kind of stopped the movement for it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring it back like with this album because it's like, you know, I don't know. It was just like I was hearing the sexy drill shit, and like it was just like, man, this kind of reminded me of like
Yeah.
the shit that I was on, like when I was on the Zeke shit. So it's like I gotta bring this shit back.
So you deaded it and then you brought it back.
Low key,
That's
because
crazy,
it was like, yo, it was a whole bunch of people who didn't even really know what it meant or they weren't there, and people were damn near starting to get like gear made, and it was like, yo, how you got Zeke gear without putting the guys in? Like, yeah, you ain't checking with nobody who's in that studio session at least. Like, if anybody could do like, because there was like Zeke events, like it was like a Zeke fest, and I was a part of that. Me and the homies, like the homie who threw it, he was in that studio session. You could do that.
Yeah,
but
don't tell me y'all call them like Zeke offs or something. Like
nah, it was a Zeke fest.
Oh, Zeke fest. Okay.
Yeah,
I like that better.
Yeah, for sure. But it wasn't nothing too crazy. It was just like we had like a bar that. Like a mini residency. Like the homies was DJing and we would just be able to go host at that bar and pull up. So it was like, you know, the Zeeks was in the house.
That's fire, man. Is there anything you're working on right now?
Yeah, man. So like halfway into finishing Ice Cold 2, I came up with the idea for a project that I wanted to do. So I'm starting to like get beats and I'm writing songs for a project called Masochist.
Masochist, okay.
Yeah, so it's it's gonna be totally different. It's gonna be like pop, rock, disco. So like I'm just trying.
I'm excited to see what that sounds like.
Yeah, like you know, I want to just expand and evolve like my pen and my abilities. So I want to continue to like try to take my vocal further, take my songwriting capabilities further, just try to be the best artist that I could be. Like I just want to have fun and make music, bro. So and I love music. Like right now, if you hop in my car, I'm either listening to Sabrina Carpenter or Billie Eilish.
Okay.
You feel me? Or Ice Cold 2.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Or Ice Cold 2. You gotta listen to your own shit.
Yeah, you know. But I don't know. I love like I'm just in a real like H&M Forever 21 era right now,
hey,
just as far as the music.
By the time
I just heard about that. That's
crazy.
fucking crazy. But
H&M.
But just like the music, like to where like I could shop and bop, like you feel me, like just fucking. But if you need someone, it's just really like it's something that's calling me right now. Like how Beyonce went to go do the country, like all of that stuff. It comes from people of color anyway. So it's like it's just. Making music is for everybody. Genres don't matter.
That's real.
So if I hear a different tune that just so happens to not fit in the tempo, the typical tempo or whatever it may be for my genre, but I like it and I want to write a disco or whatever it may be, then I'm about to go do that and have fun.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think the beauty of artistry, man, is that like trying new things is so important. The fans or people who don't make music, they're like, man, like, why don't you just stick with this or why don't you just stick with that? But they don't understand like true artistry is like, I'm gonna try this. I don't care if only 10 people like it. I'm making this because this is what I want to make right now. Do you feel that way?
They say like jack of all trades, master of none. But it's like this: if you do one thing, you better be great, the best at that one thing. But you could definitely succeed being a jack of all trades. Like it really helps expand your mind. Like so being an artist is being a tree and having all these different branches. Like because you have to do business. You have to have the imagination. It's just imagination at the end of the day. Like you have to be able to lend your imagination to this, that, and the other. So, but yeah, there are so many different facets and avenues for being an artist.
Yeah, you know what, man, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. I'm gonna do something new. I usually end the show with like you guys are plugging, and we're gonna get to the plugs here in a second. But the show is called Nobody's Listening, and
Mhm.
it's like a kind of tongue in cheek, almost because it's like we have people on the show who are super talented, but because the algorithm is the way it is, a lot of our stuff gets kind of drowned out,
Mhm.
and sometimes we feel like, man, like I don't have enough motion, right? Or whatever the case may be, but that's not true. So I want to ask you question one, and depending on how you answer that, I got question two. Are you ready?
All right, let's get it.
Okay. Do you feel like somebody's listening?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, my second question based on that, and I appreciate that, is what would you define as I have made it?
Um, just being able to feed my family off with what I love to do.
Yeah.
I don't need everything. Like I've always said, like, man, I give me like a cool little 2-story house in a suburb or something like that, and I could just go on tour for the rest of my life. That's all I want to do is like,
Yeah.
just make music and being able to fund my life off the music
Yeah.
I make. I don't need to be rich or anything like
House
that.
and feed the people we love. Yeah.
And be able to like live my passion. That's when you say you make it, when you live your passion. You live in your passion.
That's real, man. Like when and I'm only saying this name because it's the first one that comes to mind. When I see like Drake's mansion,
Mhm.
I'm like, hey, that's phenomenal. That's great for him. I would be happy, like you said, in like a 2-story. I got all my loved ones with me, and I still make music.
So,
You know?
but also, this is me being a Gemini. I'm very competitive, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm like I said, I was a rapper, or I am a rapper still.
Yeah.
So, I would like you feel me if I'm in the game, like if you put me in it, I'm gonna want to be number one. Like I'm
Yay
gonna want to
fool's nice,
stunt.
mine's just bigger is what I'm saying.
Something like that. You feel me? Like if we getting money,
Yeah.
then we gonna get money.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna say it like I wouldn't try to get money, but that's
Yeah.
not what I need out of my life.
I love that you said the rapper part because I feel like that's part of what makes us feel alive, right? Like
Mhm.
to me, I don't care if the internet or whoever thinks like I got outbarred on my song by somebody, by you in our song Mariah,
Mhm.
or by I have a song coming out with Nitty Gritty soon. Shout out Nitty Gritty.
Shout out
Like
to
if
me.
people go out on the internet and say you got bodied, I don't go into anything saying I'm gonna get smoked on this. I'm gonna
Right,
go
right,
into
right.
everything saying, like you said, like I'm gonna strive for the greatest possible thing.
Exactly.
You got any words of motivation for the people out there?
Be yourself. You can't lose if you be yourself with no unapologetically and love yourself. Live in this life. Like we only have one, as far as I know. I don't want to speak on what anybody else knows. If you know something, let me know something. But you feel me? Just be happy.
There
Try
we
to
go.
be happy. But if you try, you can do. And if you do, you can be. So be happy.
There we go. I appreciate that. Very philosophic. Tell the
I
people
just
where
be
they,
saying words.
you be saying words. Hey, poetry, right?
Yeah.
Poetry.
If they come together nicely enough and they work, yeah, it's a sonnet.
Tell the people where they can follow you at.
I'm everywhere like air at KINGTAHOE. And I'm on TikTok at King Timmy Hendrix because I got kicked off of TikTok. Whatever. I'm King Tahoe.
He's King Tahoe. Thank you guys for listening to Nobody's Listening. Remember, when you feel like nobody's listening, somebody is.
Word.
Word.